Today we are back across the state line, back down into Florida again. And today, I knew I said I wasn't gonna do it, but this was close enough. I did my research, and today we're gonna add another episode into our true crime series. But I'm gonna treat this story a little bit different than I normally would. All right, I'm gonna start at the beginning, then I'm gonna reconstruct it like an investigation. All right. Today I am in the small town of Esto, Florida, and I'm gonna be telling the story of little 7-year-old Adriana Hutto and the circumstances that led up to her death. Alright, so I know the sun's facing the wrong direction, so I'll shift camera angles in a minute. The story of Adriana Hutto, or Hutto, H-U-T-T-O, I guess we'll say Hutto. It's actually kind of a more recent story, especially compared to the stories that I have been doing here recently. In this small town of Esto, Florida, it has a population of less than 400, and that's how small it is. It was right here in this house that you see over my shoulder that 26-year-old single mother, Amanda Lewis, she lived there with her 2 children, Adriana and A.J., in 2007. You see, 12 years ago, the house looked a lot different than it does now. It's had some serious remodeling. There was a fence around the backyard, and they had a swimming pool. It was the morning of August the 8th of 2007 when Adriana's mother, Amanda Lewis, called 911, reporting that she had just found her daughter, Adriana, lying in that swimming pool, not breathing.
I need an ambulance.
What's wrong, ma'am?
My daughter fell in the pool and she's not breathing.
And she's not breathing? How old is she?
She's 7 years old.
All right, hang on just a second, ma'am.
Oh, God. Her lips are purple. What do I do? Water's just coming out of her nose. Please hurry.
Adriana was rushed to nearby Bay Medical Center, but less than an hour later, she was pronounced dead. To investigators, and probably to all of you right now, it all sounds innocent. She accidentally fell into the pool. But I would not be standing here in Esto, Florida right now telling you this story if that were the case. The local police treated it as an accident. They had no reason to believe anything otherwise. I mean, Amanda Lewis and her 2 children just seemed like your normal family, despite it, you know, her being a single mother and I guess their father not being in the picture. At the time, the official ruling was she was reaching over into the pool and fell in and hit her head and drowned. The police had almost finished their reports when they got a call. Adriana's young 6-year-old brother wanted to talk to the police. So within hours of his sister dying, the police sat down with AJ, and what he told them would change everything.
Mama, don't sister.
What does that mean?
Drown.
So AJ tells the police he saw his mommy dunk her in the pool. She held her head down so she wouldn't scream.
Adriana was laying like this and Mama holding her like this so she wouldn't scream.
An investigation would begin into what really happened to Adriana Hutto. During the investigation, it was discovered that the pool had been outside for quite a while, but the mom, Amanda, kept the ladder locked up inside of the shed here behind the house unless she was out there to supervise them. The police also discovered that just before her drowning, her mom had her diagnosed with ADHD. Her mother told doctors After Adriana was born, she had trouble connecting with her. Amanda, the mom, had trouble connecting with her own child, Adriana. But as she got older, she was 7 years old, as she had gotten older, her affection grew for her. Amanda's affection grew for Adriana over that 7-year time frame. That's nuts to me. How do you give birth to a child and not have a connection with it? How is that even possible? The local police department also discovered Adriana and AJ, they didn't have any toys at all. There was none in their room, yet they were 6 and 7 years old. Toys are a big part of your life then. Their mom, Amanda, told investigators that all of their toys were out in the shed with the pool ladder, that she had taken them all away as punishment. Investigators open up the shed. They find absolutely no toys except for a little red wagon, which was outside by the pool, and 2 pool inflatables. They never even found any evidence that there were ever any toys even there. At about the same time, the doctor from Bay Medical Center who tried to save her life, she said she worked on her as hard as she could. They got a pulse a few times, but ultimately Adriana just couldn't fight back. About the time they're learning all of this damning information about Amanda Lewis, the doctor comes to them and informs them that when she informed Amanda Lewis that her daughter had passed away, Amanda showed no emotion at all. She didn't cry, she didn't scream, nothing. Nothing. She had no reaction to the news that her daughter had died at all. Now, looking at everything the police discovered during the investigation, if you look at it, it makes Amanda Lewis sound extremely guilty. Amanda Lewis submitted to and passed a polygraph test. She outright claimed she did not kill her daughter and passed with flying colors. Nevertheless, detectives still believe that she did it. And in September of 2007, Amanda Lewis was charged with and arrested for the first-degree murder of her daughter, Adriana Hutto. Before Amanda Lewis trial, she was offered a plea bargain. It would have had her plead guilty to manslaughter and only serve 10 years in prison. That's it. She refused the plea deal, still claiming she did not kill her daughter. So the case went to trial in February of 2008. They heard statements from Dr. Fox about her showing no emotion when she heard the news. They even had poor little AJ on the stand saying, "I saw my mommy dunk her in the water."
And then she started screaming, didn't she?
Yes, so.
The defense argued that AJ wasn't a reliable witness because of his age. They used Amanda's statement about how she took their toys away and put them in the shed, but then there was never any evidence of any toys found in the shed. All of that was used in court.
Did you ever tell anyone that you didn't love your daughter?
No, I never told anybody I did not love her.
Miss Lewis, did you drown Adriana?
No, I didn't.
They also used the autopsy in court, which showed bruising on Adriana's head, which seemed to back up AJ's statement.
What was Adriana doing?
Screaming, and she kept on getting dunked.
In a shocking turn of events, only 4 days after the trial began, jury went into deliberation, and in less than 2 hours, they found Amanda Lewis guilty of the first-degree murder of her daughter, Adriana Elaine Hutto.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Amanda Elaine Lewis, guilty as charged of first-degree felony murder.
This court sentences you to imprisonment in the Florida Department of Corrections for the remainder of your life.
To this day, Amanda Lewis proclaims she's innocent. She claims that AJ was coached to say he saw his mommy do that. In 2010, she tried to appeal her murder conviction, but it was overwhelmingly unsuccessful, and her conviction was affirmed. Basically, she has no chance of getting it turned over now. She still claimed her innocence. To this day, it is still a talked about case in the true crime world. There's websites and Reddits and videos all proclaiming they believe she's innocent, and there's just as many proclaiming she's guilty. Nonetheless, she was found guilty by the court of law and is still here in a Florida prison serving her life sentence without parole. As for her son AJ, he was adopted. Seems like he's living a happy life right now. While Amanda ended up in Florida prison and AJ seems to be doing all right, Adriana is here. It's about 20 miles away from the home where she was drowned in the pool. 7 years of heaven on earth. What's interesting to me though, look at this. Mama's angel. Loving sister. I get the loving sister part, but the mama's angel? But this is her final resting place. So that is going to do it for this episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode on Adriana Hutto and her story. It is much appreciated, and you know, God bless her family and everything that they've had to go through. I will be back tomorrow with another story from down here in this area. It is a very interesting story too. Quite different from this one, but man, it's interesting. So make sure you check back in tomorrow to see that fascinating episode. As always, if you would like to help support the channel, you can do so by checking out the links down in the description box below. It's always much appreciated, and it keeps us going. Thank you all so much. I will see you again tomorrow, and I hope you have a great day.